Hi everyone, I'm Nora, the blind therapist, and I want to talk to you guys today about another invisible disability, ADHD. ADHD stands for Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder, and there are three subtypes. There's a predominantly inattentive type, there's a predominantly hyperactive/impulsive type, and then there's a combined type that has a little bit of both in its presentation. Even the name can be misleading because ADHD isn't so much a problem of attention deficit, but more of an attention regulation issue. For example, a lot of people with ADHD can focus on things. They just have trouble figuring out what to focus on, and sometimes can even hyper focus on things that they find particularly interesting to an extent where other things will kind of fade into the background. So how do people with each of the three subtypes present? Have a tendency to lose or forget things, not remembering to do or finish homework or assignments if you are a student, or maybe even being unable to plan for future tasks. If they are children, they might run around all over the place, and as adults, they know that it's not really proper to do that, so you might see a lot of fidgeting, tapping of the foot or hands, things like that. They might talk all the time, talk incessantly, interrupt people, and even blurt out answers. While people with ADHD have one or the other, many others may also fit into the third combined type, which merely just means that they exhibit signs and symptoms of both presentations. What do you think about when someone mentions ADHD? Chances are you might picture a young boy in elementary school. He has a lot of energy and he is running around all over the place, climbing on trees and other things, hopping up and down on chairs, desks, and all sorts of things. Truth is, when somebody presents this way, it's easy to see this and say to ourselves, there's something going on there. Now, imagine the young girl in class. She is quiet and well behaved. She's smart and gets her work done most of the time. But she's also very unfocused and forgets to do tasks that are expected of her. Both of these children have ADHD. If this is the picture that comes to mind, trust me, you are not alone. You might be asking, Nora, you don't have ADHD. Why does this matter to you? Well, that is a valid point, but like my visual impairment, ADHD is considered an invisible disability, which means that just looking at someone with ADHD, people may not be able to notice what's going on, which means that unless we speak up about our wants and needs, people may not be able to know or recognize what we need. Additionally, many of the messages that I heard growing up are very similar to folks with ADHD, such as, why aren't you working harder? And are you lazy? People with ADHD might hear things like, did you even hear me? Maybe we should get your hearing checked. You could do this yesterday. Why aren't you able to do this today? What's going on? And finally, Many of the accommodations that I have gotten throughout my life in school and work are also accommodations that are offered to folks with ADHD. But as I've said earlier, it all comes down to knowing what is available to us and how to ask for those. So what can we do? Well, first things first. Everyone has a tendency to become unfocused at times and forgets things every once in a while. But if it's happening to such a degree that it is impairing your everyday life and impairing your ability to do your work or go to school, then I urge you to talk to your doctor or find a psychiatrist that you can afford or who will work with your insurance and get tested. You can also work with a psychotherapist like me who specializes in ADHD to teach you skills and behavioral modification techniques to work with your abilities and to help you get the most out of life. If you would like to make an appointment to see me or any of the wonderful clinicians at CCS, please call or email us today.